is up, guys? It's Cole Ritter on the Enraged Entertainment channel, where we do all sorts of content like this relating to pop culture. Today, I will be doing a ranking of all the movies I saw this year, from January to July. Let's hop right into it. And at number 8, we have Captain Marvel. While it does have the privilege of being inside the MCU, it still needs to be interesting as itself as a movie. And Captain Marvel is usually hit or miss on interesting. It feels like a bland origin formula movie, and also sometimes feels like a Phase 1 movie. And while the character Captain Marvel herself is sometimes interesting, she is usually bland and also amazingly overpowered. The comedy is at times funny, only makes you slightly smirk compared to the laugh out loud of other MCU movies. All in all, an okay adventure, but if they ever make a sequel, they need to improve some things. For number 7, we have Lego Movie, the second part. While it does copy a lot of the tones of the first movie, that luckily means it also recaptures its charm. The movie also has a lot of meta humor. The movie has very powerful themes, and it also makes you look at certain things with a new perspective. Unfortunately, because it copies a lot of the same tones from the first movie, some things don't actually make sense. For example, like Emmett not being appreciated was majorly touched upon in the last movie. Also, it has many plot holes, but still, it's decent, and it almost lives up there with the first one. Taking the number 6 place is Bumblebee. While it is smaller than any other movie in the Transformers franchise, it reaches new heights. The reason why I include it on this list is that even though it did release in December, I still watched it this year in January. It is a huge rebound from all the other past movies, including The Last Night, which is thought to be one of the worst movies of 2017 by many. Its 1980s tone feels nostalgic, and it is definitely a move forward in the right direction. For the title of 5th, we have Detective Pikachu. Known as the first watchable video game movie, this movie has a lot going for it. First, it stars Justice Smith and Ryan Reynolds as the film's protagonists. This film was actually based off a game which bears the same name. As for the film itself, it really makes you believe there could be a world where Pokemon exist. They are greatly CGI animated and feel exactly in place for the film. Tim, who Smith plays, is believable and has much development through the film. Yeah! Detective Pikachu, voiced by Reynolds, is indeed usually the comic relief character, but still has a lot of character and is a part of the main twist. Speaking of the twist, while it's predictable, it's still interesting enough to have the audience on their toes. A solid movie that serves its purpose. Bringing us into the top 4 is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Brought to us by Legendary, it is the 3rd movie in the Monsterverse. Funny thing is, I missed part of it at the beginning when I was going to get snacks. Luckily, I ran back fast and got into the movie well. Ghidorah was well introduced, and what was very interesting was both the mother and daughter were both evil, for at least a part. Even though the military can have boring conversations, they're more interesting than in Godzilla 2014. The monsters also had character, so you could clearly see emotions of Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah. The film also gets you excited for the next Monsterverse movie, which is surely going to be Godzilla vs. King Kong. This movie is a great addition to the franchise. Going to be 3rd is Shazam. The movie takes place in Philadelphia, where an ordinary kid, Billy, played by Asher Angel, turns into a grown superhero, played by Zachary Levi. It is reminiscent of Tom Hanks' Big and feels smaller than most movies in the DCEU. But its funny tone fits perfectly with what it's trying to be. What surprised me was there was some gory scenes, but then again, David Sandberg directed it. What's mostly fun about it is just that it actually makes kids wonder if they actually got those powers. Overall, a fun, lighthearted flick that will please you when you think about it. Next to first is Spider-Man Far From Home. This movie is the unofficial sequel to Endgame, so the ramifications from it are big. The whole movie, Peter Parker is still deeply sad about Iron Man's death. In times that he is not brooding, though, there are usually parts with high school comedy. Jake Gyllenhaal is an amazing cast choice as Mysterio, and both the post-credits scenes were epic. The twist can be predicted by a group of people. Marvel does it in a cool way. The film was great, in for Phase 3 and builds up hype for Phase 4. Finally, for number 1, we have Endgame. I cannot put into words how excited I was for this film, with counting down the days till I could see it. This movie was a culmination of 22 films, and may be one of the last times we got to see some of our favorite heroes. I went to the theater, frozen in my seat, and tranced by the whole thing. It was almost perfect with quips, action, emotional arcs at every turn. The final battle was breathtaking with almost every Marvel hero you could think of. While Thanos was a little more cliche in this one, he still played into his character. The movie almost did everything right, and it celebrated the MCU, and that is why it is number 1. So that was my video. Thank you for watching it. I really appreciate it. And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell. I will be doing pop culture related videos and commentaries on this channel all the time, so be sure to check it. See you next time.